We have three leading experts on poverty measurement testifying before our committee today, yet I see none of your names on the list of authors of this report. Did the panel of authors for this report include any conservative perspectives?
Thank you, Ms. Steele, for the question. There were 13 members on the National Academy of Sciences panel which made this recommendation about the SPM. Of those 13, 12 had either donated or worked for a Democratic administration. 0 had donated or worked for a Republican administration. And as you suggested, it's not for lack of supply of willing or capable experts with differing perspectives. As you mentioned, there's people at this table who are not asked to serve. There's others as well who have the expertise, who could have served but were not asked and should have been.
So this report must be really skewed at this point.
It's certainly skewed based on the panel members, and I don't think that it reflects the academic consensus about poverty measurement.
Thank you. Professor Besharov, if I pronounced it wrong, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
You have done a tremendous amount of research on measuring poverty. These measurements are full of deep statistical analysis, but at the end of the day, deciding who is and who isn't in poverty is a moral judgment. Do you think it is right to unelected bureaucrats to have such power, or the ability for one administration to make such dramatic changes to the poverty rate? Do you believe this should be the role of Congress to set the poverty line?
Well, thank you for the question. As I was trying to suggest in my previous answer, we are at an important historical point where many of the norms of the past are changing. The norms about what a president will do or not do without the consent of Congress. And I would put this at that very high level of concern. It is about poverty measurement. It is about food stamp benefits. It is about military action. I can think of all sorts of things that the Congress has, in a sense, delegated great discretion to a president. And the Congress has done that because in the past, the presidents have had guardrails. And I see that changing. I see that changing about social policy. I see it changing about international policy. And in terms of the poverty line, I'm really worried that it gets politicized in both directions. It's one thing to say, well, let's just see if low-income families can get a little bit more money here. The other side of this is if we have a President Trump, one of the things he could very easily say is, well, let's see how we can benefit the people who voted for me. And I don't think that belongs in a poverty measure, either direction. And I think the only protection for that is a Congress, because even the minority in the Congress can prevent that. So it's important that we constrain the power of the executive, whoever that is.
Hello, friends. New data has revealed that more and more Americans are struggling to pay their debts. As the U.S. economy tightens, many American households have seen a significant increase in property taxes. But several of our lawmakers are now working together to approve legislation that will provide tax cuts or rebate checks to help residents. My dear friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video to hear about all of these new details. Also, every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Property taxes and housing costs have seen a significant increase throughout 2023, reflecting a broader trend of rising real estate prices and the impact of economic and social factors. These increases have had far-reaching consequences for homeowners, renters, and the overall housing market. One of the primary drivers behind increased property taxes has been the surge in property values. Many regions experienced double-digit percentage increases in home values, leading to higher assessed values for tax purposes. Local governments, reliant on property taxes for revenue, have raised tax rates to capture a larger share of this growing property wealth. Homeowners who saw their property values rise may face substantial tax hikes, potentially impacting their ability to afford their homes. Local governments facing budget shortfalls due to the economic impact of the crisis have turned to property taxes as a means of generating revenue. The increased demand for public services, especially in healthcare and education, added pressure to municipal budgets. And as a result, property taxes have been raised to fill these gaps, placing an additional burden to millions of homeowners. But Texas lawmakers placed a proposition on the November election ballot that would reduce property taxes for homeowners. The bill would increase the homestead exemptions for homeowners from $40,000 to $100,000. The cuts to property taxes are being funded by a $12.7 billion package that was approved by state lawmakers. Colorado voters will also soon decide the future of Proposition HH. It is a proposal from state Democrats to reduce property tax rates and spend money that would otherwise be sent back to taxpayers through Tabor refunds. Colorado is set to pay out more than $3.5 billion in Tabor refunds next spring. It is one of the largest paybacks that the state has ever had to return to taxpayers. In fact, the state is in the middle of what could be a record-busting string of revenue years. For the first time ever, the state government may be forced to pay refunds for 6 straight years, stretching from 2022 through 2027 or longer. Those refunds are expected to average more than $2 billion per year. It is a level never seen before in Colorado, even accounting for inflation. In late 2022 through 2024, there will likely be a peak of refund waves, due largely to crisis-era gains in personal and corporate income. But Tabor checks could remain a fixture in Colorado long after that. The state of Arizona is currently offering extra cash payments to their residents as well. Taxpayers with dependents will earn their tax refunds by November 15th, but the exact amount depends on how many dependents you have. For children under 17 years old, the amount was set at $250 per dependent, with a limit of $750 for 3 dependents. For dependents over the age of 18, the payment is $100 each. Americans are having a harder time making interest payments, and savings are shrinking, and a barrage of interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve has jacked up the cost of financing. Delinquency rates on credit cards, mortgages, and auto payments have all been ticking up as the level of household savings, which swelled under the stimulus payments which were handed out during the crisis, have been declining. 60-day car payment delinquencies for individuals with bad credit hit an all-time record high of 6.1% in September. That is up from 5.8% in August. That is the highest level of lateness since the company first started tallying rates in 1994. U.S. credit card debt and other types of revolving loans surpassed $1 trillion in August, with outstanding balances on bank cards climbing 18.1% above where they were last year to reach $851.4 billion. Well, my beautiful and my greatest friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Dear friends, thank you very much for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you, dearest friends, and have a wonderful and very blessed week.